Here's the big question. How is it that most entrepreneurs hustle and are always busy and struggle to take just one step forward only to fall two steps back? They're dedicated, determined, and driven, but only a few finally break through and win. This show uncovers those quantum leap patterns of highly successful people so you can simply model what they do and apply to your future success. That's the question, and the answers are right here. My name is Brigitte Höfele, and this is the Success Patterns Show. Oh my goodness. Welcome, everyone. I am so honored and excited to bring the very first Success Pattern Show, and I'm about to fall out of my chair, honestly. And I'm so glad that you are here, that you're watching. Share it with others. Go on Facebook Live and share it with other people. We're going to have this every week, Tuesday afternoons, 4:30 on the East Coast and 1:30 on the West Coast, and all of the coasts in between. I don't think there are any coasts in between over in Europe. So I'm really, really honored to be here with you. My name is Brigitte Höfele. I am your host. I am the one that has put the Success Pattern Show together for you to get value, for you to take nuggets away. Therefore, I sure hope that you have something to write with and something to write on, because you're going to want to take notes, because I have incredible guests. This is not about me. This is not the Brigitte Show. This is about you. This is about you taking away information and nuggets and getting to know people and learning more, because leaders are learners. And that just makes me excited when I wake up in the morning and I think about, oh, I have an incredible guest. I have several incredible guests already lined up for the next few weeks. So put it in your calendar right now. Get your calendars out and put it in as a standing calendar entry on Tuesday afternoons, 4:30 Eastern time. And it's going to be incredible. So I have incredible guests. This is all about you. This is not about me. And the people that I bring on they're not just it's not just someone that I met on the street and they're like, oh, I think a good idea to, do an interview with you. These are high quality people. These are people that I listen to, that I learn from, that I take notes when they speak. Those are the people that are the continuous learners. Those are mentors. They're the people that speak from large stages. Those are the people that, are always, when you ask them, they're like, yes, how can I be of value to you and to your network? So with that being said, I have an incredible first guest on, and this person loves to serve and give. And I know that not just because he put it on a piece of paper when he answered my questions. I know that because I work with him. I know that because I've been on his show. I know that because he actually helped me create this Success Pattern Show. He will follow your lead and provide your audience with topics that they can take away, implement, and use immediately. This person is just, I just love him like a brother. And I can't wait for you to meet him. But before I bring him on, because I want to build up a little bit more excitement, I want to tell you a little bit more about Brian Kelly. And some of you already know him because I've been several times on his show and been working with him for quite some time. But other people, entrepreneurs, business owners, hire him to reach their peak, because most people just don't stand out in the marketplace, and therefore they fail to attract a steady, ideal clients, right? We are all looking for leads, but how do you get to them? So he helps them reveal their personal and unique massive exposure machine, free up their time. Hello, everyone can use time because time's money, and create a steady stream of revenue. Bottom line, he helps entrepreneurs establish close relationships with top shelf industry leaders that result in escalating their bottom line within 12 months, guaranteed. I personally and lovingly call him the Automation Meister. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Brian Kelly. Hey,
Hello, Brigida.
hello, Brian. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited, so humbled to be your first guest. That is phenomenal. I don't know if I'm more excited than you about your first show because so much has gone into this. You've put in so much unbelievable work, time and effort and energy. So kudos to you for always showing up, always taking action. You always practice what you preach. That's why I love you like a sister so dearly. You are amazing.
This guy right here. And if it weren't for you, Brian, you and I would not be sitting here, and you on the screen would not be watching because this could not happen without this gentleman. Brian truly is the automation meister. And Brian, when we first met, I can't even remember. Oh, it was John Kurth that introduced us to each other. Big shout out to John, who's part of our faculty at the Center of NLP. Brian introduced us, and we pretty much immediately hit it off, and just I don't know, there was just an immediate connection. And what would you say was the first connection? What was the foundation of the first connection that we pretty much sparked immediately? What was that for you?
I think it was openness and sense of humor. It was very
Mm.
casual, and we both felt comfortable instantly. There was, it may be that both of us know NLP kind of well, and we know how to build rapport quickly. I don't know. That couldn't be it, could it? But
No.
we have very similar personalities. I think is what happened. You think fast, you act fast. I'm the same way. Similar sarcastic sense of humor, which is perfect. I love it. And you're just easygoing. For me, it was because you were easygoing and accepting of just the flow of the conversation. It was so like just natural and easy.
Yeah, I agree. And natural and easy is the way to do it, you guys. If it's hard, I mean, come on, work's going to be effort, right? There's got to be some sweat equity in that, but it's got to be fun. And if it's not fun, Brian, I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys at home. I'm not having it. It's got to be fun.
Totally agree. Totally. If you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying the process, if you're not enjoying the journey, then perhaps you should start considering looking into something else. Doesn't mean drop what you're doing this second if you're making income. Be responsible. Find out what it is you truly love doing, whether you got paid for it or not. That's one litmus test. And if you can, and most anything on this planet can be monetized, and then get a mentor like Brigida, and she can help form that into a monetizable passion so that you can do what you love and get paid for it.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And speaking of that, I want to hear more about, you being the automation master, but I'm really really interested. What makes you want to jump out of bed with excitement in the morning?
We've already hit on it. I love what I get to do. And a lot of it, and I'm not kidding, is I get to work with people like you, Brigida. It's not just enough to love what you get to do, but it's also to be able to work with people that you want to work with. And so many people will just take on a client or an employee or whatever, just or a client, I should say, just because they have a heartbeat and room on their credit card. And
Mm,
that is not a recipe for success. And it's okay to say no. If you meet somebody and it's a good idea if you're an entrepreneur to get to know that person that might be a client coming up. And you'll know pretty quickly if it's somebody you want to work with day to day and help them. Are they open? Are they action takers? Will they follow instructions? That's the biggest one. Oh my goodness. If they don't follow instructions, it drives you freaking nuts. But literally, it is the people I get to work with and the things I do for that person. I love doing the automation. I love it. It's a creative process. There's a lot of testing involved, which I don't care for the testing as much, but when I see something, I go, every time I see something, there's a way to improve this. And that's where the fun comes in for me.
aha, so it's making it better. It's making it a what I've seen you and witnessed you do so masterfully is um just creating well-oiled machines. Like, I wonder if we could just open the top of your head and we look inside. I wonder if there are little people I imagine they're all on flip charts and they're all going, oh, when if this then that, and then when this then that, and ooh, and what about this, and ooh, we could do that, right? So looking back, there are rituals, there are habits in there, and looking back at your life, which rituals and habits have you adapted that you can confidently say led you to the success that you are experiencing today?
Hmm. That's a really good question because I go with the first thing that hits my head. I never just think about what is it going to be. First thing that hits my head is I'm a different breed, and we all are individuals. I don't have any rituals. I don't. In fact, I steer clear of them. This is just me. You'll hear time and time and time again, and I'm sure from multiple guests that Brigida brings on in the future, they will have a different answer. They will say that they get up and from this time to this time in the morning, they do the same thing every single day. To me, that's a this is me. That's a recipe for boredom. And so I it more comes down to not so much in my personal life, not rituals and habits, but just discipline. And so there are things that you need to do. Appointments on the calendar, you always make those, especially if it's with a client. And you just need to instill discipline in yourself. If you have discipline and you're willing to put in the work, the arduous work, instead of going off and seeing, watching that binge watching on Netflix, your favorite show, because I'll put that off till later. It just takes discipline. And if you can discipline yourself to just cut out a slot of time during the day, mix it up if you want variety, which is what I love, as long as I get my stuff done. So the thing is, I will work, and I call it play. It's not even work for me because I enjoy what I get to do. There are oftentimes I'll be working and playing, and then all of a sudden I get the call for dinner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, already? I'm not ready to eat. I don't want to eat. I'm too into this. I want to keep going. So I don't have rituals or habits, and I know that sounds weird, but that's
But
what makes me feel better.
yeah, I love that you said the word discipline, right? I think discipline all in itself is a maybe it's not a ritual or a habit, but it's a program that you have programmed yourself to have. Because you've heard the saying, discipline kicks in when motivation has long left the room. And I'm going to say most people, a lot of people do not have discipline. They think they have motivation and then they go on, social media and YouTube and all things and try to find a motivational. Oh, and we're back. How do you feel about motivation and motivational speakers as we're
Ooh,
talking about discipline?
I love them. And I think everyone needs motivation. And so motivational speakers are very important in one's life. My favorite is this guy, is Les Brown. When you want to talk just a pure motivational speaker,
Hold on.
he's the man. I actually had him on my show. I was so blessed to have this amazing man on my show. 75, maybe 76 now, years old and still going strong. And, I love motivational speakers and what they stand for. And it's good to be motivated. And what you just said was so important, Brigida, that you need to also have the discipline. Motivation is fun. We all love it. It gets you going. It gets you energized, and it powers you through the day. When the rubber meets the road, the discipline must be there. You must get through the arduous tasks that are before you to get to the promised land. And just think of the whole thing as a journey. When you go through that arduous task, you know it's coming. You got to do it. Think about the outcome that will be the result of going through that task and pushing through to the other side, and then all the ones that follow it. Think about keep that focus on the outcome, on the prize. That arduous task will get smaller and smaller and smaller if you keep doing that on a regular basis. That's a big part of my disciplinary strategy, if you will.
The outcome focused. Also, we're still at the beginning of the year, and people are setting up some how do they say, some New Year's resolutions. How do you feel about resolutions versus results, outcomes, as you said? Can you be focused on both, or what would you say you want to be focused more on?
I would be focused. I am 100% focused on outcome and results. And for me, resolutions are a setup for failure,
Mhm.
personally. I don't believe in them because of life experience. I have made them in the past, and I thought, wow, that was dumb. I knew I wasn't going to fall through on that because I don't have those habits that we just talked about. I don't have that in my wiring. Could I do it? Probably, but I wouldn't be happy. So why do something you're not happy doing? Figure out how to do without that, and that's what I've done. Is just instill discipline. So outcome and results are always the most important to me. And it's interesting with talking to other people, and I'm sure you've been through this too, Brigitte, where they'll start going down all the things that are happening right now. They'll get buried into the moment of what is so horrible. Like, but look at that. Look what's going to happen when you get past this, and you will get past this. Look at how this, and feel it right now. Understand that this is all for a reason, and you'll get through it. And when you do, oh my gosh, think about that. Oh, okay. Kind of do a quick state change and get them going.
And there comes out the fellow NLP master, right? So it sounds like there is a lot of positive program and positive thinking in what you just said. But what does positive thinking really mean to you?
I look at it more than just positive. So, okay, there's a great saying, and I want to get it right. It's we can either let our circumstances control our attitude, or we can let our attitude dictate our circumstances. And so we are all going to go through trials and tribulations as human beings. And we all have. Everyone that's watching this, listening to this, either live or in the recording, we've all been through it. We all have, as a result of those circumstances, when they occur, we all have a choice on how we react to them. And so it's all about choice. So
say that again.
You can either choose something negative or you can choose something positive. And that's the extent of positive thinking to me is just how do you react to those situations that are not going your way? That's key. And if you're not reacting in a way that serves your attitude to be better, then when would now be the right time to alter that by going to one of Brigitte's top shelf NLP training center, incredible certification programs, NLP Center of Atlanta. She's amazing. I like that. You like that little shameless plug I just threw in there?
I love it. I love it. You're hired.
But to me, it's not just positive thinking. In addition to that, it's flexible thinking.
Oh, there it is.
That is more powerful to me than positive. I mean, flexible with a positive flair. Let's put it that way. So again, when these things come up, like you, we're very flexible in getting ready for this show. And I won't go into the details of what happened, but you have mastered flexibility. And that is why you are so successful. Who else wants to be successful out there watching and listening? I know everybody wants to be raising their hands. Then all you need to do is connect with Brigitte. You now know how. She's everywhere now. The show is all over the planet. And also out somewhere in other planets if they have internet connection. You can get to her and find out what her secrets to success are. That's the name of the show, the Success Pattern Show. I love it. What a great name, too.
Yeah, thank you for that. You mentioned flexibility. Tell me what flexibility is, because people, hear flexibility and they're like, well, yeah, I'm flexible. I go to yoga, I can do that. But what does flexibility really mean? I mean, you and I know what it means. Share it with the others.
I mean, to me, it just means being willing to do something that you normally wouldn't do to get the outcome you're looking for. For me, flexibility often happens at the spur of the moment when it's time to go. Like when I was spoke from stage for years for my mentor, things would happen right before you go up on stage, and you had to learn to be flexible and understand that things happen every single day that aren't going the way you want. And you need to shut off what just happened and stop dwelling on it and focus and change direction into the solution or solutions that are in front of you. It's just about another word a lot of people like to use is pivoting when they pivot from one job or one type of business to another. It's pivoting your mind and saying instantly, okay, that happened. So what? Now, how do we solve it and move and do it quickly? To me, that's what I mean by flexibility. And you're always looking for the solution, And you get that habit and it just becomes automatic. It's like, and it's water off your back. It's like, okay, that happened. No biggie. Okay, what's next? You don't freak out. We had a little glitch in the video today. So what? Look, you came back and you were calm as a cucumber, as they would say, or cool as a cucumber. That's it. Cool. And that's why, because you have trained your brain, Brigitte has, to do exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to being flexible.
So we talked about a few things here: flexibility, discipline, positive thinking, um, loving what you do. Out of all of those things, what's the number one thing, in your opinion, that people really need in order to be successful?
Woo, that's a great one. Number one, it's really one thing is all of the above. I don't think you can, I can't think of one thing that would by itself make anyone successful. It's everything. It's learning. It's always be learning. That's a nice phrase I love. Always yearn to improve yourself. Uh, Definitely, number one step, I cannot say more loudly and more passionately, is if you have not gone through an NLP course, definitely do that. That for me changed my life. I am not kidding. And I am not a drama person as Brigida. We have fun, but I never go, oh, it saved my life. I never do that kind of stuff. This, I am so behind. I remember first time my arms were like this when I went to a seminar and it was about NLP, and all I could think of was they're going to try to control my mind. And they can't change my faith. No. And then I learned that even through hypnosis, one cannot be reprogrammed to do something that's not in your value system. If you were born to be a killer, then okay, it's in your value system. But if you're not, it's not going to happen. And the same with your faith. If your faith is something important to you, your mind, it's your mind. That's the beautiful thing. It's your mind, and your mind will not let anything negative happen to it. That's not supposed to happen. Once I learned that, it's like, whoosh, open the doors, bring it on, and went all in. And it is a game changer. And just do it. If you haven't been through an NLP certification course, just do it. Whether it's through, I don't know, Brigida or someone else named Brigida Hofferle, or Christian Hofferle. Just do it. Because I can't tell you, I invested personally, and I didn't do this with Brigida. I didn't know you then, but I went through my mentor. I invested thousands and thousands of dollars over the course of a couple of years in all the courses I went through. And how many regrets do I have with all that money I spent? Big fat zero. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was
And
far
you
more
said
than
invest it, because it's not an expense, it's an investment in yourself. Where would you say, I mean, for the ones now that we're talking about NLP, for the ones that don't know what NLP is, neuro linguistic programming, this is not what this show today is all about, but come see us at a different show and we're definitely going to talk about it, because I'm going to have Brian back. Are you kidding me? He's going to come back if he wants to, or not, I will drag him in. But what did I want to say with that? It's a communications tool, and it's not just for business, and it's not just for finding the spouse that you've always wanted, or raising the children that you've always wanted, or fill in the blanks what you always wanted. It's literally everywhere. Would you not agree?
Oh yeah, and yeah, it actually started out as a personal development tool to basically take the place of psychologists, and sitting on a couch for days, months, or years as they take you back through the horrible things you went through, and you keep repeating them over and over and over. NLP is a science of success, is what I call it, and it reprograms your brain in minutes, not days, not years. There are certain processes. I have done this from stage, timeline, all this great stuff. 7 minutes, in as little as 7 minutes, you can lift the barriers of resistance and hesitation that have been holding you back in success, not just in business, but in life. And that's the beautiful thing. It started out as personal development. Richard Bandler, the other guy's name escapes me. He's never
John
in
Grinder.
Thank you. She's got the school. She knows what she's doing. It was all to help people. And then I met my mentor, who took NLP and crafted it specifically to crush it in business. And I thought, wow, this is a great 1-2 punch. I'm in. And I went and worked with this gentleman for years and loved every second of it. So yeah, it's all encompassing. And when you are able to reprogram your brain for something that serves you better in all areas, watch, people will notice. That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing. And let's say you can't go, but you want your spouse to go, and they want to go worse than you. Send them, because what happens? They change when they come back. They're more pleasing to be around. It's amazing what happens. I brought my son through most of the courses with me. He was 16 years old when we started this effort, and it changed him. and he got the tools he needed early on in life. My daughter went through just a little bit of it. She wasn't really ready. She was going through a lot of stress in college and had too much on her plate. But at some point in your life, if you haven't gone through NLP, a course, then please think about, you're not just doing yourself a favor, you're doing everyone who you interact with a favor from that point forward. Make it about someone else more than yourself.
I agree with you 100%. And I want to talk to you said a word over and over again, and it is a part of NLP, the programming part. That's where a lot of people kind of either get confused, or they lean in and they say, "Ooh, tell me more," or they're like, "I don't know, programming kind of feels controlling." We're all being programmed, Brian. I mean, TV programs, we're being programmed. We're being programmed by our neighbor that calls us stupid. We're being programmed by our parents that are telling us how great we are. We're being programmed by our own mind saying, "Oh, look at you, you're no worth," or "Look at you, you're looking great today," or "Look at you, what do you think you're doing?" We're constantly programming ourselves and the people around us. And when there's a program, and this is the really good news, where there's a program, there's a counter program. So that means that if we're not a tree, right? If we are somewhere that we don't want to be, we can actually get up and do something else and find a different program. And in order to do that, we first have to be aware that we're actually running this program, which leads me to my final question. But before we go into that final question, it's a question that I often ask most of my interviewers. But before I go into that last question, you brought us a present, because you are Brian Kelly and you're just absolutely amazing. Tell us more about what you brought us. A gift from Brian.
Yeah, I get asked a lot about what are my go-to suite of automation tools and things like that. And the thing is I personally use a lot, and they can get quite expensive when you put them all together. And then recently I came across one that consolidated many of the functions I needed. And it did so at a very, very high level, meaning very high quality, the results, it works, the support is phenomenal. And so I decided to create what I call like an entrepreneur discount club or house, if you will. Think of like Costco, or I can't think of the other one, the Walmart side, Sam's Club. Yeah. Think of one of those, but without the membership fee. It's just a little website I put together that houses some automation tools. One primary automation tool is called Peak Connector. It gives you a $300 a month discount by going into the club. The club is free. You just go to reachyourpeakclub.com, as you put on the screen. Thank you. And then next to it, if you're not an automation person, well, there's a solution for that. And you can get VAs, virtual assistants, that are certified in Peak Connector that can help you and will help you. I've had them now for myself and my business for going on 6 months at the time of this recording. And so they've been a godsend for the whopping hourly rate of $4.53 an hour. That's how low you can go. How low can you go? Yes. I can't believe I found them, stumbled upon them, and what a blessing they have been. I was literally talking to my VA earlier today. And then also there's a masterclass that I hold for live video masterclass. So doing what Brigitte is doing so masterfully right now, that's free, 100% free. So that's more than a discount because it's nothing. Then there's this little thing called, well, I can't say it by word, but it's something we all use every single day with lots of people on camera in meetings online. It just rhymes with room. I'll put it there. And you can get a stellar, unbelievable discount on that. If you're paying for it now, even if you're at the lowest level, you will pay less and get the highest level available that they give you. So unlimited recording of the cloud and transcription. You can search now. I love it to do the searching afterward. I record every call and every meeting. I don't share it with anybody. I use it for my own personal use, and do webinars with it as well. 500-seat webinar, 500-seat meetings for less than you would pay at their minimum plan. So if you're not paying anything, of course, you'll pay a little bit, but we're talking $12.99 a month. So reachyourpeakclub.com, free. Just fill out your info. You can log in instantly and have fun and ask questions. Contact me.
Say the F word again.
Fun.
And free.
Oh, free.
Free.
Yes.
Fun and free.
Into the club.
free to get into the club. Do it, guys. I am part of Peak Connector, and that's what drives this incredible, very well oiled machine. But before we wrap up for today, and boy, time has just it came and then it left. I don't know
Boom.
what happened. Because we're programmed and because we run different programs, what would you say is and I'm going to use a different term now, what is your pattern that you have for success? What is your program or your pattern for success?
I like to just continually remind myself of how deeply blessed I am, no matter what circumstances befront us all. I mean, my gosh, we've all been through a lot as humans. I went through a stretch. My wife had breast cancer last year. She had major surgery after a lot of chemo, and I watched the woman I love more than anything on the planet, withering away in front of me. Not the same person I'd married, but I'm there for, and I love her. I'm dying with her in my inside. She's not dying, by the way. Just want to make that sure. That was a bad word to use. But inside, I was just in a wreck. My dad is having memory issues, and we're dealing with that daily. He calls me multiple times a day, and each time he calls, if I answer, it's a 2-hour call, and it's not time I have, but it depends what's going on. If it's an emergency, which thank the Lord, none of that has happened. Then my entire family ended up with COVID over the holiday. And so, a lot of people just go, my God, when is this ever going to stop? And yeah, I think that, but then I look at, I take a step back and said, yeah, but I'm so blessed. I have my wonderful, beautiful wife with me. I get to take care of my dad. I don't have to. I'm blessed. I'm 20 minutes away in a car. So at least there is somebody in the family that's close enough to give the help he needs. I enlisted the help of his neighbors and craft. NLP helped in every one of these, by the way. I will say it definitely did. Rapport building, pre-framing, everything that goes with it. It's so amazing. It just makes life better. But I am just so supremely blessed that no matter how bad things get, I know God is setting us up, all of us, to be prepared for something else that when it comes, it will look like child's play when it comes. And it's like, thank you for setting us up for success in life and for, when it's our turn being with you eternally. Thank you for setting this up for me so we can learn it and do it the right way.
Wise words, very wise words. And that goes back to what you said earlier, always seeing that we have a choice, because we can choose. What do I want to focus on? How crappy things are in the moment or how great they can be in the future. By the way, welcome, Christian. He's joining us from Germany and he just joined the club. So welcome to Christian Hack. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for everyone else tuning in. So before we wrap up today, how can people in the world get in touch with the Automation Master?
So many ways. Facebook is a good one. Brian C. Kelly is the username at the end. You'll see a picture with this mug on it somewhere. That's one of the quickest ways. Or you can go like to Reach Your Peak Club. There's a little chat bubble in there. I'm all over the place with the show I've been doing called the Mind Body Business Show. Brigitta's been on several times. Her husband's been on. Her daughter's been on. Power Family, and it's all over the place. YouTube, Facebook is probably a good entry point, and then we can take the conversation farther. If there's anything mutual, if there's something I can do to help serve you, maybe you can help serve me. How many times have you done this, Brigitte? They have all these, hey, let's connect. Well, the other person is always connecting for one purpose, and that is to get you to do business with them, usually. I take a different tact, and it's like, I learned something from these people, and oftentimes I will become their client if I'm reaching out to them to say, let's connect. I'm just there to listen and see, are we a fit in either direction? Either way, I'm fine. But that's the way I roll. So if you want to reach out and say hi, I'd love to hear from you, whoever you are, from wherever you are. And yeah, so now that you've heard this you've seen it on video, you've watched it or you've heard it on podcasts, like Brigitta's on 25 podcast platforms, people. You can't not find her. And so am I. So we're there. We're here. So come say hi.
Get in touch. Yes. Get in touch with Brian Kelly, everyone. Brian, thank you for being here. Big round of applause. Thank you for the incredible work that you have done for me, for my network, for my family. I can't thank you more than from the bottom of my heart. And I feel incredibly blessed that we get to continue to work together and make this world a better way, a better world. And having said that, everyone, please make sure that you're tuning in again next week, Tuesday. Make sure that you're getting in touch with Brian Kelly. Really simple, Brian Kelly, and go to the Reach Your Peak Club. And see you next week. Thank you, Brian, for being here.
Thank you, Brigitte.
Bye, everyone.
And a hoot.
Thank you for tuning in to the Success Pattern Show at www.thesuccesspatternshow.com. My name is Brigitte Hufelet.